Now, we saw after Dillian Whyte's recent fight fell through, Alexander Povetkin caught COVID, unfortunately, and their show was postponed. There was some talk briefly of him wanting to fill the spot against Tyson. Was there ever anything official approached to you, or was it just talk through the media?
Well, it was talk through the media, but it has no interest to me. I don't think Tyson either. Look, first of all, he got absolutely knocked stone cold, unconscious, and he was given oxygen. I don't even think he should be fighting for a while yet. They rush back into it. That's their choice. That's his choice. They can get on with it. But I don't think he should even be fighting. How do you know the WBC would even sanction it? He just got knocked out. Why would they sanction that fight? He's no longer the mandatory, and he was concussed. But besides all that, what's in it for us? Not interested in it. You know, he chose his route that he wanted to go down, and it didn't work out for him.
Do you think there was any serious desire on their side for that fight, or was it more just a thing to maybe embarrass Tyson a little bit, say, oh, yeah, Tyson turned it down kind of thing?
Well, how can you embarrass him? He can't be embarrassed, does he? I mean, he didn't get knocked out. He got off the floor when he got clipped. So I doubt very much if it certainly would embarrass me. And for me, I don't even think, I'm not even interested in it. We're having a conversation now. There's more interest, there's more, this has gone on longer between you and I talking about this than it was in my mind. It's just bang, gone, I'm not interested. You got to look at what, you see what I see, Dad. He got absolutely poleaxed. And I think it's too soon that he's in the ring, let alone getting in with Tyson Fury.
Do you think it's a blessing in disguise then that that fight with Povetkin will now be rescheduled for January?
Yeah, it may be. It may be. It'd give him more time to recover.
Something else I wanted to ask you about. Michael Hunter has been in the news, at least with the hardcore fans recently, for pitching his hat in, willing to fight guys at short notice, Tyson initially, and then Dillian Whyte when his opponent fell out of bed. Why do you think he's not getting these big fight offers? He was with Matchroom, that came to an end. He seems to be willing to fight anyone at short notice. What's stopping people picking him up?
Well, obviously he was at Matchroom. It's the same with Dillian Whyte. He was at Matchroom. He never got his fight with Joshua. He never got his world title fight, did he? He was number one in the WBO and the WBC for a long time, and the same with, I don't know where Hunter's ranked, but look, I don't know. You got to ask them. They weren't with us. All I know, Tyson Fury came with us, and within 6 months fought for the world title.
Have you got any interest in Michael Hunter, or have you got enough heavyweights?
Look, if he wants to get in touch, I think there was some move to get in touch with us, but it is what it is at the moment. All I'm focusing on is who we deal with, who we got. Tyson hopefully will fight Caballero, and obviously we've got Daniel and Joe fighting each other. That's all I'm interested in at the moment.
And has there been any progress in terms of Liam Williams challenging Demetrius Andrade? We saw him keep busy recently, beating Andrew Robinson, but he's clearly above that level now.
I spoke to the WBO last week. He's got this 10-rounder, is it, in a couple of weeks' time?
Super middle, isn't it? Yeah.
Or where he's fighting. So as soon as he has that fight, we'll have a very short negotiation period, then it will go to purse bids if we can't agree.
And when would that, if you win the purse bids, when would you like it to take place?
That'll be next year now, wouldn't it?
And what's your projection in terms of next year with fans coming back in? How hopeful are you, if at all, that will happen early on?
Well, I'm a boxing promoter, so I'm an optimist.
Eternal optimist, yeah.
I'm very optimistic, but the truth of the matter is, who knows? I mean, I don't think you're going to see any fans in stadiums. Certainly, they're talking about football until next season. I don't see us doing too much. I think it's the same with us. Till they get a cure, till they get a vaccine for this, I don't see any big crowds getting together again, which is going to be a bit of a may wind up being a problem with the Joshua. With Tyson fighting Joshua, who knows? We're all in the hands of the scientists. The government get get advised by scientists, and that changes on a daily basis. One day everything's okay, the next day it's not. They can't even agree when they're going to have lockdowns in the UK at all the same time. So, what do I know?
We talked about how you managed to make Dwyer Joyce work without a live gate and not on pay-per-view. But generally, the business as a whole, how have you managed to keep things rolling despite having no live gate for the foreseeable future? Presumably, you haven't had to sell the family silver. You still look like you're living in good accommodation.
Well, we're just all, everybody's having to be sensible. You know, we're not putting shows on that normally have, 14 fights on a show. We can't afford to do that. We've had to cut back on a lot of things, but that's what it is. Everybody in the world's had to readjust. We've all had to do it. That's what it is. And if you want to survive, then you have to work within the confines of what you're doing. You got to just get on with it and do it and make it happen.
How do you go about prioritizing? Because, like you said, if the slots are like 5-6 fights a show now instead of the usual 12 to 14. How do you know who to put on? Because there's no ticket sales to guide you in that sense. How do you know who to put on and who to leave for now?
It started off with who was in the gyms, because the gyms are all shut down. It's who was fit and who was good enough to go. There's a couple of guys that have been disappointed, but we can't. It's not a question of prioritising anyone. It's a question of originally trying to work out specific gyms so that we weren't getting a mix from all around the country. That we were getting 3 guys from the same gym fighting. But we moved on from there, and at the moment we're trying to very with difficulty trying to service all the contracts. It's not easy.
And just before I let you go, I just wanted to get your take on the recent split between Canelo Alvarez and Golden Boy Promotions, which they were in dispute. They were taking each other to court, but I don't think anyone expected him to become a free agent quite so quickly. And already planning a fight for December. What did you make of all that?
Well, he's obviously frustrated, isn't he? He's frustrated and he's annoyed that quite frank, the fact he's suing DAZN, he's obviously annoyed with them that they've not come up with the money. So he's a free agent now, and he's obviously left them. He's their biggest star by far. They obviously didn't step up to the plate financially for him, so he's out doing his own thing now by the looks of it.
And will that make it easier in theory to make some of the big fights happen, either with some of the guys over in Britain or some of the big names over in the US now that he is a free agent?
I don't know. At the end of the day, he's the one who always had the choice who he was going to fight. And that will remain the case. He's the attraction. He's the one he's the golden goose. He's the one they all want to fight. That's what he is.
And then with the choices he has made, do you feel that he's always trying to fight the best then? Or is he a very sensible businessman, similar to how Floyd Mayweather was when he was the number one attraction?
No, I was disappointed when Bill was with us, Billy Joe, that he never fought him. We worked hard and we were very close at one stage to making it happen, but it didn't happen. But then again, it's not happened for Bill since. He's in the same position. But no, I think he stepped up to the plate and fought people, hasn't he? Do I want to see him fight Triple G again? Not really. We've seen enough of it, haven't we? I'm not really clamouring to see that happen. But there's a few fights out there that that could be made. Who knows? He might. Joe Gallagher was saying that these guys are all free agents now. Callum, maybe it may be easier for him to make that fight now with Canelo. Who knows? I mean, Kell Brook just made a fight, didn't he? With Crawford.
Directly, yeah.
Yeah, who knows?
You've had a number of splits with fighters you've become close to over the years. Oscar De La Hoya seemed exceptionally close to Canelo. How must he be feeling right now, do you think?
Well, I'm sure he's very disappointed if they had the relationship that they say they had, but I don't know whether they had that relationship for the last year. Who knows? He's obviously very disappointed. He was their marquee fighter, and if he has left Golden Boy, then it is what it is. What are you going to do? You sit there and cry and weep about it. You got to get on with business. Go and find the next one.
Great stuff. Well, very best of luck with the shows to come, particularly the first one on Friday on BT Sport. We're looking forward to that. And hopefully the Fury opponent will get confirmed in the next couple of days.
We hope so, Dan. Thanks, as always, mate. Look after yourself.
And you, Frank. Take care.
All the best. Bye, mate.
Bye-bye.